Hi guys, it's Nini, aka SoulStar Divine Feminine. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I have a reading for the Twin Flame Collective, as always, and I am doing a reading on the Divine Feminine and what the Divine Feminine wants the Divine Masculine to know. Child messages from your higher selves, what you've been going through. Obviously, a lot of this is for the Twin Flames in separation, but there's also quite a lot of twins that are in union right now that are still going through the motions, myself included with my DM. So this still resonates a high degree. Now, today I am using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. Ooh, I love those birds in the background. The Wicker Oracle card deck. And thank you, baby. And the Mood card deck by Adrian Hahn. Now I have obviously my Palo Santo, and I've got my incense burning out here in nature at my beautiful house that I share with my DM. Once again, this is the Noah retreat, so if any of you would like to come to Bali or come to a healthy healing retreat where you can receive Reiki, crystal healing, natal chart readings, aqua aerobics, personal training, dancing, meditation, sound healing, and so much more in a beautiful tranquil space like this, where we've got a double level garden, grow loads of fruits from trees, and have a swimming pool, then please click the links down below. We are working on an official website for our healing retreat, but so far we've got our Airbnb links, or you can email us as well for some private pictures and consultations. On top of that, my Divine Masculine, he is actually doing some consultations, so if you want to quickly pop in and tell them what you guys are doing. And I say you guys because him and his higher self.
Hey guys, that was a real genuine kiss, okay? This is real. So basically, we are doing consultations. You can click my PayPal to donate as you wish. You can go on the phone, mainly email actually, or I can also send a video. It's just about keeping an open heart, especially for you Divine Masculines out there that might be watching videos of feminines behind the tree or in a hidden outlet.
Behind the tree.
So yeah, that's what it's all about, keeping an open heart and trying to find ways to change, because I'm also trying to do that too. And I've been made very aware constantly of my own weaknesses, my own blockages, and it is a struggle. It really is. And I understand what men are going through, but also I need to understand myself to a T. And yeah, peace. Cool?
Peace, yeah.
Peace, peace, peace. Always the peace.
Peace, peace, peace. So, my third eye's going even more now. So let's get on with the reading, shall we? So the first card that we have today for the Divine Feminines is Finding Balance. And once again, this is what the Divine Feminines want you Divine Masculines to know. So this is probably the first time in history that I'm addressing the Divine Masculines. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for watching these videos. So the Divine Feminine wants you to know that they are trying to find balance. They're trying to find balance once again throughout this whole journey. So many trials and tribulations, so much heartbreak. So many times they're going through the motions of, oh, I forgive this person, I've let this go, and then it comes back again, resurfacing, because there's always different levels of the hurt that you go through, different levels of the confusion, different levels of, oh, so much stuff. Okay, the Divine Feminine wants you Divine Masculines to know that they are really trying to recenter and realign. They feel like, especially after the March equinox, so much they feel like so much of their work has suddenly now gone out of whack. It feels like now, oh, what's the right word for it? Disheveled. It feels like the Divine Feminines have been working so long, and they've got A in slot A, B in slot B, C in slot C, and then realize like D, E, and F is like, okay, that's what the Divine Masculine has to do. Like, I've let that go. They have to do their own thing. And now it suddenly feels like A is like halfway hanging out of C, and B isn't even in the bloody vicinity that they had it in. It feels like suddenly everything internally is like, oh my gosh, this ascension's killing me. My DNA upgrades are a lot. It feels like I suddenly am really irritable, like easily irritable. because I've been doing this for so long. I've been so strong for so long. And where is everything coming into fruition? I know I've been patient. I know I have to continue being patient and continue trusting. But fuck me, this is taking a long ass time for this person to come in. And then on top of that, the Divine Feminine wants you Divine Masculines to know that confusion is coming up again because of certain things they've done, certain things you've done. And some of you Divine Masculines have been reaching out through text, showing up at their places like that they normally hang out in, contacting their friends and being like, hey, how is Andrea today? And then suddenly you hear from your friends, oh, you know that Mark asked about you. And you're just like, wait, so he's ignored me for the last 2 years, but he's asking you how I am. What the fuck does that mean? So Divine Masculines, the Divine Feminines are really trying to recenter and rebalance. They are going through the motions. They're feeling very confused and conflicted because they know they have to continue focusing on them through here and keep that vision wide open. But they're also becoming easily irritable because it's like the thoughts of you now almost feel like a distraction. It almost feels like when a Divine Feminine thinks of you, rather than just thinking of you for a couple of minutes and enjoying, you know, those blissful moments of, oh, I remember when this was happening, you know, reminiscing. It's more like 1 second turns into an hour of thinking about you and can't get you out of their head. And then suddenly it's like, wait, you expect me to still go to work or still go to this yoga class or still do these readings and not have this person completely in the forefront of my mind, which is skewing the rest of my vision on the rest of my day. So the Divine Feminines are really, really trying to find balance within themselves again, because everything's been changed. The ascension has been really, really deep this time round for us feminines. Like, my gosh. For the last week or so, most of you haven't even felt like yourselves. The feminines I'm talking about. And it's almost like the feminines know who they are, but because of all the internal changes that's happening so rapidly, because feminines are more open to it, it's almost like you're a shell of yourself right now because your older self is slowly leaving, like when a snake sheds its skin. So you're having to do more things or different things to realign yourself. And it's written all over these cards. It's all about connecting with yourself again, connecting with nature. When you start seeing the rest of these cards that have come out. So this is the time that Divine Feminines are having to almost do their version of hermit mode. But it's more about connecting to their real goddess self again, to realign and integrate these new downloads and integrate these new DNA cells. And really connecting with themselves in nature, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, because that's what's going to help them ground it. So they're feeling quite out of sorts, but they're trying to find that balance within themselves. And they understand that if they feel like this, even to this small degree, and sometimes it's not a small degree, because sometimes the feminines are waking up and they're literally like, I mean, emotions are coming out. Like, it's like another level of purging that's coming out. But it's more of just the frustration and irritability. I can never say that word. Almost like certain things that are said are on edge. It's like the hormones, like typical period symptoms, like without a period. And physically feeling these changes happening within you and not being hungry at all and having all these food aversions, and then suddenly like being so overwhelmingly hungry because the ascension is crazy, and then you suddenly feel like, wait, I just got back into this realm, I need to eat everything in sight now, like the complete and utter anger. And I've been going through that a lot. So they know that if they continue to balance their energies out and connecting with themselves more, especially out in nature, because nature helps feminines so much. It reveals so many messages. They're connecting more through those tools. And they know that the more and more they balance themselves out, the easier it will be. and the more clearer the messages and clarity will be. Because as I said to you in the previous reading, some of the feminines have made choices to do certain things, like a 200-hour yoga course, thinking that if they do yoga every day and teach it every day, that's going to be their bread and butter. That's like their lifeline. That's their purpose. And then they're realizing, actually, I really do enjoy yoga and I need to do it every day for myself. But I don't want it to just be the only thing I do. I want to do yoga, but I also want to do cooking classes and go to seminars and dance and continue traveling. And there's so much more than just one thing. But the feminines are understanding that if they feel this to this degree of uncomfortability within themselves and this confusion and easy aggravation, because stuff is clearing out and changing, they understand now more why you divine masculines have found it so difficult to communicate anything. So it's a new level of understanding. Now, moving on. Trust, what the divine feminines want the divine masculines to know. Sure, you guys can hear the temple sounds in the background. Trust me, it's adding to your healing. Bali is such a high vibration spiritual place. Okay, so because of all of this confusion and frustration that's coming up again for the feminines and going through this ascension, because when you go through these DNA upgrades and this ascension, your whole physical outlook changes every day, every hour, every minute. You literally feel like you don't even know who you are sometimes, because it's so strong and potent when you're ascending this quickly. And a lot of us feminines are on that wavelength where we are ascending so quickly. Let's say we were on level 5, yeah, 5th dimension. Right now, I feel like I've ascended to like level 12, like within about 3 or 4 days. It has been rapid. So for those of you that are resonating, you're understanding what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, because of this, sometimes your vision is quite skewed. So divine masculines, the feminines are trying to tell you that right now, they're teeter-tottering once again. Synchronistic. They're teeter-tottering once again on trusting the vision that they had from a few weeks ago, from a few months ago, the vision they had of what they want their life to look like, the visualization of what they've been manifesting, what they've been bringing in, what they've been screaming and shouting through divine love and light to the universe, what they've been asking for. It's a lot of the feminines have been feeling for a while that they've been past breaking point, like beyond breaking point, like dealing with stuff 3, 4, 5, 600 times more than anyone should ever have to deal with. And they've been patient and they've been waiting and they've continued growing and evolving. And sometimes it really is like, sometimes it really is that point of getting so pissed off because you've worked so hard for so long, and then you see other people doing something so much easier, but once again, looks are deceiving. But you get to that point where it's like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Or where is this? Where is this? Why aren't I happy every day? Why is this not fulfilling me when I thought it would fulfill me? How can I trust what I'm seeing and thinking and visualizing if it's now changed from what it was 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago? Do I still trust? The universe is really pushing me, really testing me. Do I still trust? Do I still trust that the universe has my back? That's what the feminines are going through right now. Getting to a whole new level of trust because you thought that you've been pushed so much already that, like, you know, okay, my ships are coming in, yay. And then you realize, oh shit, okay then, I have to do more. but I've done it for like 10 years. Are you serious? No. And it gets to that point. And then you realize, once again, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you have to wake yourself up, dust your shoulders off, and continue pushing forward, continue growing, continue putting all your pentacles in a row, continue putting yourself out there in every single fucking way you can imagine, and even in ways you can't imagine yet, and to continue staying open. So the feminines, they're really trying to accept a whole new level of trust with the universe, with this path, with this journey. And it's not easy when you've gone through so many things physically. Even though you know this is an illusion, it still affects you. Because that's the fucking matrix. We're souls in these human vessels to experience these human style things. So human style emotions are going to still affect you, even when you know this is an illusion. So the feminines are really trying to get into a whole new level of trust because they are being tested. There's a song by Amarie, and I was listening to it the other day with my DM because it was helping me through some really tough ascension. And it's called Gotta Work. And the whole premise of the song, you guys probably know that song One Thing from Amarie because that's like the famous song that was made on Hitch. But the song Gotta Work, the premise of it is sometimes there's gonna be days like this, referencing bad days. Sometimes there's going to be pain like this. Sometimes there's going to be rain like this. Sometimes you've got to work hard for it. And when you're feeling lower and you can't get any lower, that's when you know you are close. Sometimes you got to work hard for it. And I was like fully singing that, like joyous, like, yes, I'm a strong, independent bitch. Because you have to get yourself through this. And the divine feminines are still going through it mentally, emotionally, readjusting to all of these new internal changes when we thought we were like gonna have a break finally. And then it's like, oh, okay, I guess maybe like 2 months ago was my break for that 1 week. And now, yes, you still have to work in progress. Every day you have to work on yourself, keep doing the inner work. Every day. When you get to a place where you've elevated so much and you're completely open and you're at, the highest vibration you could possibly be, and you're completely open to receive every type of experience, and you're able to use your discernment like that on what you know is good for you and what you know isn't good for you, and always keeping that balance, then it's going to be much easier. But right now, the feminines are readjusting again, and that's what they want you to know, masculines. Once again, we're doing our own thing. It's the same thing you're doing, just in very different ways. And some of the feminines are really struggling right now, emotionally. It's like, because of the moon energy, the reflection on the pain and hurt that the feminines have gone through already, and not just with you, in so many ways. Once again, of course, in a child. Of course. There's also some of the bullshit that they used to accept from certain people, like colleagues and fake friends. It's propping up again. Like feminines are watching movies or hearing songs, and it's instantly reminding them of a situation. And even though the feminines aren't feeling the same degree of hurt and pain that they used to feel, because they've cleared out so much, that small little reminder of something they've gone through, they're like, wow, shit, that actually happened. Okay, I guess I almost blocked it out after all of that time of doing all that healing and purging. I don't want that to happen to anyone else. I want to be able to do more stuff. And then it's also the hindrance, because then they spend more time reflecting on that. Hindrance is the wrong word, sorry. Distraction. It's also the distraction of that happening again, because feminines still tend to sometimes overthink. Oh, there's my housekeeper, too. Hi. So the feminines still sometimes end up getting too distracted with focusing on the reflection of the past rather than focusing on what's right now, presently, right in front of them, which is the only thing that's really going to help at this point in time. Because the feminines have already spent so much time reflecting on the past. But it's like that crutch where we're in our flow, we've healed so much, we're focusing on being present and moving forward. And then once we get reminded of one thing, rather than reflecting on it for a couple of minutes or maybe even an hour or so, and then continuing to move forward and focus right now on the present, which is the most important thing, we end up spending the next 2 or 3 days reflecting on that thing. And sometimes, yes, we need that reflection, that deep reflection for a couple of days and just be in complete solitude and meditative state. But a lot of the time, the feminines will go to that place for days and days on end because that's a crutch. And they would rather, not even rather, it's just the way we've been programmed or the way we've been conditioned. It's like we end up going into that crutch of, oh, I haven't been able to do anything for the last few days because this has been killing me, or this has been on my mind, and this has been distracting me, and I'm just so sick of it. And then we end up getting frustrated at ourselves. If we're more open and accepting of ourselves, if it does come up for 3 or 4 days, just let it be. See if you can still do your work, see if you can still do the things you love during those times. And maybe if you still went to yoga class or still went, out with your friends to a waterfall or whatever it is, and you were in a distracted state, maybe then you'll realize, wow, my mind is more powerful than I realize. I can unprogram that. I can reprogram that. And I can reflect and take time off to reflect. But other times, I know that I'm just using it as a crutch and I can work on that. So I feel like the divine feminines, once again, the ascension is so rapid that they're really having to realign their whole new being, because the feminines are changing into a new person every day. Even me talking to you, divine masculines and divine feminines right now, if I look at my reflection in the camera, I don't even know who this person is. Like, I don't even recognize this new NEENEE, this new SoulStar, because the person I am talking right now isn't the same person I was yesterday. It's literally that much change that feminines and masculines are going through. It's just, once again, the feminines tend to be more aware of it or tend to feel it more, and we ascend more rapidly sometimes because we're more open. But even with us being more open, we're still quite closed off from a lot of things, as you guys know, because the divine masculines help the divine feminines and vice versa. Wow. Okay, so divine feminines, dreams coming true. Yay. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so the divine feminines, they're trying to work out, it's like mentally, they're trying to be more logical. Isn't that funny? After all of this time, after all this time of these crazy trials and tribulations, the divine feminines, they're trying to think more logically, because they feel like right now that will help balance out their spiritual side, their emotional side. Feminines tend to always lead from their heart, because the heart is where the truth is. And obviously, we've had to learn to integrate more into the 3D world, because guess what? We're in a 3D world. And most people here are so indoctrinated into the matrix that they only think in a 3D way, or a low-level way, or however you want to label it that you're comfortable with. Now, because of all this confusion and having to realign the balance and the aggravation and the things coming up that we thought we'd healed, but then there's like the tiniest bit left of a whole new level of acceptance and just realizing that the things that have happened to us as feminines, the feminines are realizing that just because they had an experience doesn't mean that that has to be their storyline. they're detaching from their stories that they've clinged onto for so long, because they know if they continue to balance themselves out, they know if they continue to act on more of these instincts, on these intuitive hits, on more of these messages, or all of them, they know if they continue to put themselves out there in every way that they can, so many of their desires and dreams are going to come into fruition. And it's not always going to happen when you want it to happen, because if stuff always happened when you wanted it to happen, how would you appreciate it? Like, yes, you are the greatest manifester you could ever be, but if you always got something like that, would you really appreciate it compared to somebody who's, you know, struggled for 1.5 years and put their heart and soul into, I don't know, studying ballet, and then all of a sudden, after getting turned down at so many auditions, they managed to get into the last school they applied for, the last hope they had, and they get it. And it ends up working out way better than all of these prestige schools that they never got a chance to go into, because it was in alignment for them. The feminines know that their goals and desires are coming true, that they already are true. They're very aware of the fact that everything they want, they already have. And sometimes it just has to happen in a different way than they imagined. The feminines are also aware that when they put the effort and energy into something, they continue giving it love day in, day out, just like they did with you, divine masculines. And just like you, divine masculines, they understand that sometimes the illusion has to show them that they don't have that thing, so that they can focus on other things. And then when they're ready, or when that person's ready, or when the energy is complete match of vibration, rather than this and this and this, when it's literally like that, locked in, that's when it will come in. So the feminines know. They know everything they want, they have already. It's just in this illusion, they have to be able to continue working on all of their things that they need to do. Because if they had everything they possibly wanted right now, they wouldn't focus on the balance within. They wouldn't. Because they'd be too distracted by having all of these outside sources of happiness. And trust me, not all of the sources are outside of them. Yoga is a very internal practice. Singing is a very internal practice. But then when it comes into getting validation, whether it's somebody watching my video and liking and sharing or subscribing, then that adds into the energy and it adds into the momentum, of course. But sometimes if you get too much of those things all at once, then sometimes you'll start focusing more on the outside of, oh, okay, how can I get this many people to come to my yoga class? And okay, how can I get people to buy my yoga mats? And how can I do this? And how can I do that? And how can I do that? Rather than continuing to focus on, I do yoga for myself, for my balance, for my determination, to make my body strong and healthy. Sometimes we lose sight of that so easily if we're suddenly given all of that outside validation or outside influence or outside energy. I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. At least I hope so. The feminines know that what's for their greatest good, they have. And it's all coming in divine timing, or it's all being shown in divine timing, or it's all being revealed in divine timing. And a lot of the feminines understand that even with them hearing from some of you, divine masculines, some of you are getting texts, emails, some of you are meeting up in person. Oh, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. I really hope she doesn't mind. But a beautiful soul family member that I connect with, and we email each other all the time. Hi, Leah. After a very, very, very long time of not hearing from her divine masculine, she heard from him and they reconnected, and she managed to hug him and he hugged her back. And she was saying that even though she knows he's still got his own healing to do in his own journey, and they probably weren't getting back together yet. The fact that they even reconnected after that long, and she managed to like actually hug him and feel that physical embrace that we all want. Like, just, oh, that was good for her. Profound for her, amazing for her. And I'm sure it was for her divine masculine too. So the feminines are understanding that even when they're hearing things from you, divine masculines, did I say divine masculines? Divine feminines, and they're hearing certain things from some of the divine masculines that are reaching out to them, even with the confusion of, you know, why are they reaching out now? Like, are they trying to get back with me? Are they trying to apologize? Are they just wanting to talk, clear the air, blah, 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 blah? Like, what is it? They go through and transmute through that confusion quite quickly. And they know that you are, or the love that they see within you and the light they see within you, they know that's part of their dreams, desires, goals, and they understand that the love and light they all have always seen within you, which is why there was so much conflict. Because when someone sees light within you, but you act out of darkness, they just want you to see the light. Because they have always seen that light within you, and they've come through this journey and realized that the light that they saw within you is really the light they saw within themselves, and that your darkness reflected their darkness, etc., etc. They're so grateful for everything. Like, the feminines are so grateful for everything. Even a text, even an email, even a hug. It's so profound. And they want you masculines to know, even if you are scared or terrified of a response from a feminine, if you feel guided to reach out to them, randomly turn up at their place and give them a bunch of flowers, or just say, hi, I know I haven't seen you in so long and the way I left was wrong and we both did things that were wrong. I just want to hug you and tell you I hope you're doing well. Whatever it is you're guided to do, the feminines want you to know that they are open for that. And even if their ego is the first thing to react, like, what are you doing here? Because typically, if you haven't seen anyone for so long, your wall, your mask is like protection. Even if that were to happen, even if that's what you're expecting as a divine masculine, if you reach out to the feminines, they want you to know that they really fucking appreciate it. But it also comes with a level of shock. Because if you think someone isn't going to reach out to you for so long after you've been doing all your work and you've been open and you've been ready to receive all of this, and then they actually do show up randomly when you least expect it, because it always happens when you least expect it, yeah, sometimes it is a level of shock. And people react in different ways in shock. Sometimes if I'm in shock, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long, oh my gosh, why are you doing it? And I'll burst out crying like mad. But then other times I'm in shock, I'm like, what? Did you knock on the wrong house? Like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, wait, what? And I'm more like confused and inquisitive and like looking like this, because I'm thinking, wait, is this really happening right now? Wait, my ego can't comprehend this. And that is your natural egotistical reaction. But the feminines, once again, they want you masculines to know, reach out. If you are guided to reach out to a feminine, do it. Regardless of the response, do it. Understand that in this physical realm, shit did fucking happen. Some really dark, fucked up, twisted up shit happened. And sometimes people act out of shock and confusion and dismay. And even if the feminine is literally like, for 5 minutes at the door when you're holding a bunch of flowers or your favorite CD or whatever it is, or just you in general, once they've had a bit of time, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, they could then be screaming around their house like a little child, like, oh my gosh, they And then other times be like, that really just happened. Oh my gosh. It's the same thing like when you meet a celebrity for the first time. And you're like, oh my gosh, if I meet Denzel Washington, I'm going to be so cool and collected. He is so sexy. And then you see him and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And you can't even like ask for the autograph. It's that kind of ridiculous nonsense. Because our egos find so much of this journey so hard to comprehend. Oh man. That is so funny. Right, moving on. Divine feminines. What they want the divine masculine to know. I love this card. I'm pretty sure this came out for the divine masculine read as well. Okay, so I'm hearing that song. I don't remember who the hell sings it, but it's like, hey, I heard you were a wild one. Ooh. Something like that. Don't remember who that is, but I remember it used to play all the time. Is that Pitbull, maybe? Or Flow Rider? One of them. It's one of those really bad rappers. I think it is Flow Rider. No offense to all of you Flow Rider and Pitbull fans, but it's not my cup of tea. Anyways, so this is all about the feminines really trying to continue to break limitations of themselves. And let's say, as I said in the reading once again a couple of days ago, this is just this, it's the same synchronistic message. Yeah, divine masculines, the feminines have done shit tons of work. Sorry, I have to stand up because my ass is getting stuck to the seat because it's so hot. The feminines have done shit tons of work, as have you, and sometimes it looks like we've done way more work, even though our work, the way we go about our work is very different, or sometimes we have delays, you have delays, etc., etc. Everyone has their own fucking journey is the point I'm trying to make. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's, regardless of if it's your twin, the person you think is your twin, your karmic, blah, 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 all of these labels. Your journey is your journey. It's unique to you and you alone. That's one point I want to get across right now, real fucking quick. And the second point is, even though the feminines have done so much bloody work, guess what? In so many ways, as I said the other day, we're still limiting ourselves in so many ways. Maybe not as many ways as we think or perceive the divine masculine to be doing, even though we don't know what the fuck the masculines are actually doing internally because we're not them. But we always seem to feel like we're doing more, even though we're probably doing the same amount in different ways, etc., etc., etc. Or sometimes somebody started the race on time and another person started the race 5 hours later. They're still doing the same journey. And time is an illusion anyway, so, I mean, you guys get my point. The feminines, they still have been holding themselves back in certain ways, and there is a lot of wildness that wants to come out, and I mean, like, full-on creative explosion wildness. Some of the feminines just want to start dressing in a completely different way. Like, they used to work as a lawyer until they realized that the environment was too toxic, and they couldn't deal with all these bullshit men in suits telling them the bullshit things to do all day, every day, and never respected them to the same level because they're in a female body, for the feminines that are in a female body, of course. And, but that's the vision I'm seeing in my head. And now that feminine in a female body wants to now dress in a bikini top and a shirt and small little shorts every day and ride motorbikes and just have their hair blowing in the wind and eating pizza and drinking beer and burping out loud in front of other people when normally they would be so conservative and in a certain way that you would think was cute and, you know, very marriage material. And now they're realizing, bitch, I can do what the fuck I want. Like, I have a human body, I have a human vessel, I can do so many different things with this. There is so much wildness and fun and creativity that wants to just burst out at the seams of the divine feminines. And the feminines know. That's why they've gone through these motions of, oh, okay, I've connected with this, this is great. Okay, that's my life purpose. And then realizing, no, actually, I need to do more than this every day. So I can be happy in every single way, every day. And there is so much wellness coming out. The same thing's happening to me. I suppressed myself through my clothing and my physical expression for so long. I used to do crazy makeup for years and years on end. I used to do modeling and burlesque and cabaret, and I'm still an actress, and I sing and dance, and I've suppressed so many of those parts of me so many times, so many years, a lot of the time for relationships or repairing or healing or blah, blah, blah. But if it's something as simple as me dressing, even when I first got to Bali, I was only wearing really, really loose clothing and covering up everywhere as much as I could, and wearing like loose, long trousers, and still suffering in the heat, but thinking I had to dress a certain way because of, you know, Suksamua Teramakasi, and like going past all their temples all the time. Until I realized a few days ago, like, bitch, you're sexy as fuck. Why are you like not expressing it the way you want to express it? If I want to have my tits out, which is very rare, if I want to have them out, then I should just have them out. If I want to wear short shorts and ride a moped and be the only female riding my man on the back of a moped, then I should bloody do it. And for like the last 2 weeks, I've been doing that. And the faces that you see on people is so confused, because if you go around, and it's not just Bali, just in general, if you go around and you see couples on motorbikes or mopeds, and it's typically a woman and man couple, then typically it's the man that's riding the woman, that's driving the moped or the motorcycle, and the woman's just like, on the back. No! I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm empowering, I'm a goddess, I'm the one driving the moped, and I'm a better driver, and my man is sitting on the back and having the best time of his life. My wildness is coming through doing money rituals when I'm dancing outside naked in the rain and screaming at the rooftops, wearing this, a bloody bikini top, to a fucking supermarket where I'd have never even thought that was possible. But I'm allowing myself to be that free. I'm riding the moped. I'm singing out loud. Today, you saw my housekeeper, our housekeeper, and this is the first time she's even seeing that I do tarot readings, even though she's seen the decks all over the house. But I mean, come on, there's so many ways you can express yourself. I started filming singing covers. I'm working on different short films that I'm acting and directing in. It's like, there's so much amazing creativity that's just waiting to explode out of the feminines. And they're trying. They are trying to let themselves be more free in ways that they didn't think they were allowed to be. Because just like you divine masculines, us feminines have had many restrictions placed on us as well through society. We've always been told we have to act a certain way, look a certain way. If we speak a certain way, we'll be seen a certain way. In Jamaica, part of my heritage, when I was 17 years old and I first had my nose pierced, we went through the airport, me and my mum, and the security guard stopped us and asked how old I was. And she was like, she's 17, why? And he said that in Jamaica, when you have a nose ring, it shows men that you're ready for sex. And we were like, what? It's a fucking nose ring, you retard. But that's what it shows. I got told that because I have a tongue piercing, I'm always going to be seen as a whore, or I'm always going to be seen as I give head to every single person known to man. It's a fucking piercing. I got it for myself, for my own expression. Yet, and it also had nothing to do with bloody sex or fellatio, but apparently if society sees this, they're going to think me in a certain way. So then I restricted myself, and I learned and trained myself to talk without anybody seeing it. And for most of you viewers right now, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that she had a nose piercing. I didn't know she had a tongue piercing. Wow. It's not a big deal, but people make these little things into big deals and then put all this pressure on you, and then it continues generation after generation, cycle after cycle. We've been told that we have to talk in a ladylike manner, like, hi, oh, it's so nice to meet you. Oh, yeah. Well, what I like doing, I like riding horses. You know, I actually like painting sometimes. And my favorite show is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because they're really inspiring. And, you know, that's great. But then if you talk like me, who sometimes does talk like that, because that's my little cute inner child, innocent self talking. But other times I'm just like, Fucking hell, mate. That was bloody brilliant, wasn't it? Oh, I'm so fucking happy right now. This is the best fucking day of my life. Woo! And I use the word fucking as an excited, expressive way of my language. But as soon as somebody else hears it, they're going to be like, oh, don't swear. Swearing is bad. Swearing isn't ladylike. Swearing is a terrible thing to do. I remember when me and my DM, Nick, first met, it was a Sunday. And this guy that was interested in me from before, who I kept denying, randomly comes and sits on our table. And Nick's inner child was talking to me, and we were doing a lot of healing, and he was crying, and I was counseling him and stuff like that. And the guy who randomly sits on our table, first of all, you're fucking rude. What the fuck are you doing? Like, no one invited you here. But okay then. So we continue talking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's fucking amazing, Nick. Wow, this is so profound, this transformation you're going through. And all that person heard was fucking. And they straight away interrupt again after sitting at our bloody table. And they say, oh my gosh, you can't say that. You can't swear like that. It's a Sunday. Do you remember? And me and Nick are like, what are you talking about? And this guy, who I won't name just in case he watches these videos, hi, how are you? And he's like, oh, you can't swear on a Sunday. It's not profound. It's not good. It's not the right way of doing things. Like, people go to church on Sunday. First of all, we're not at church. Second of all, you don't go to church. You're not a practicing Christian or Catholic, yet for some reason you're telling us to not swear. And then he still goes on and on about it. And I'm like, look, this is my freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what the fuck I want. And I use the word fucking and bloody hell and all of these things in a way to express my excitement, my joy, and a high vibration because of the energy I put behind it. But rather than really listening of the tone and the energy I'm emitting, you just hear the physical word that you're already programmed and mentally attached to, and you try and shut me down as a feminine goddess energy because I'm expressing my truth. That's bullshit. And then I turn back to Nick and we continue talking. And that's just a prime example. And because of those programs and those conditionings and the social pressures to act a certain way, just like you divine masculines, us feminines have held ourselves back for so many reasons, for so many things. And now it's like, wow, I really just need to do whatever the fuck I want. Even if it's saying fuck for 5 minutes on end because we've never said it out loud in front of someone or on a bloody YouTube channel. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Just do what you want. And that's what the feminines are trying to release right now. They're really trying to release that creative expression, that wildness, all of the things they've been held back from. They've been told that they couldn't do. One of the best ways that the feminines are connecting with themselves more and expressing that creativity is through, let's say it together, children, nature. And by the way, this is a mandrake. If you guys are Harry Potter fans like me and Nick, then you'll know what the mandrake is. When you pull it out the soil, it screams until you plant it, and then it grows even more. But one of the best ways that the feminines are connecting with their creative expression is through nature. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of feminines, once again, going with the theme of the reflection. They are going to like parks and lakes and seeing, like, obviously water is so healing and nature is as well, but it's through the reflection of the water, because it's distorted because of the molecules and everything. It's like they're able to see more of a physical change in their being, or it's helping them to accept the changes more that are happening. Because some of the feminines feel like they've literally lived like 30 different lives in this one life, because they've been so many different people for each type of relationship they've had, whether it's romantic, mom, dad, cousin, friend, whatever it is. The reflection is what's helping them to accept more of what is within them, because they've already gone through the motions of accepting what it is outside of them. But accepting what is within them is harder to do. Because when you're changing and transforming at such a rapid rate and you're going through these confusing emotions, it's kind of hard to articulate a fully grasped opinion on any subject matter, or form a fully, like a full-bodied thought. The feminines mentally, it kind of feels like, oh my gosh, like almost like a headache. Like, and the feminines are dealing with a lot of third eye headaches, a lot of exhaustion. But by connecting to nature more, it's just helping them to connect more with themselves. And when they're out in parks and they're seeing butterflies and all the amazing colors that are on these butterflies and these birds living their lives, or seeing ant trails and a whole community that are working together, they realize there's way more to life than what they've been viewing. Because even though the feminine's view is like this, look how much is like behind my hands. There is so much that is just right here. And when they see this almost like distorted reflection of themselves, they're realizing that so many old parts of them have dropped away, but mentally or egotistically they've been clinging on to it, and really they should just be continuing to be open to actually integrate all of these new things, and that they're always changing, that they are limitless. It's just like a reaffirmation. So for the feminines that are continuing to, do the work on a day-to-day basis, they are starting to connect more with themselves through the tools of nature, through seeing these livelihoods of birds and butterflies and trees growing, and seedlings from plants that they've planted in the ground, and climbing up trees like I am on a regular basis to go and collect my fruit and then take it in the kitchen and cook it, and seeing that whole circle of life and realizing, wow, life can be so fucking amazing when you really open your eyes. They also want you masculines to know that they're seeing this whole experience or storyline of both of your journeys together from a much higher perspective, even more so than before. But this time it's a much grounded, higher perspective, if that even makes sense to your brain. Sometimes, and a lot of the feminines in the past have gained a spiritual ego because they've seen or felt more of the 5D self, and they've been aware that you were focused more on the 3D. So then it's like they almost put themselves up on a hierarchy, because they're like, I see this and I see that and I feel this and blah, blah, blah. Why can't you just see this? Why can't you just feel this? Open up to me now. Until they worked through that, healed it, let it go. But because of that, this is now a whole new level of a higher perspective. And when I'm saying it's more grounded, it's more in balance. It's more in balance because they're realizing that even with their higher perspective they had in the past, it was so heavily influenced by their own emotions, by their own hurt, by their own agendas. And everyone's life is unique and everyone's life path is different. And just because you want someone doesn't mean you need them or should have them. Because sometimes people really do just come into our lives to teach us the most profound lessons that we already signed a bloody soul contract for, and they leave, and we deal with that and accept it and grow and transform. Or we stay the same and stay in that hurt and hold on to that hurt for 45 years and then realize, well, we've never been happy in our whole lives. Whichever path you want to choose. But the feminines are seeing much more now because their vision is much clearer. Because all of that hurt and those energy blocks they've cleared out. They've been knocked down. So it's much more of a grounded energy. When they're in nature, the feminines, their goddess energy, it just comes alive. It really, really does. It's beautiful. Now, to go alongside this, finding the balance and the trust. What are the divine feminines working through? Some of them are working through hurt, as I said. Some of these hurtful things we've gone through in life, whether it's childhood, fake friends, colleagues, peer pressure at work, or this twin flame union separation. Sometimes you heal and heal and heal and heal, let go, surrender, and then a couple months later it pops up again and you're like, wait, I thought I dealt with this already. Wait, this is a whole new level. Okay, I need to accept this more then. Okay, I need to ground this more. I need to heal this more. Whatever it is, some of the feminines are still clearing out some of that hurt. And I know it's coinciding straight away with so many of these limitations that the feminines have had on themselves, put on them from society, put on them through masculine energies, put on them through feminine energies, because wow. Just like the masculines can be toxic to other masculines, feminines are so toxic to other feminines. Whether you're in a female body or a male body, it's still the energy. But then sometimes if you are a feminine energy in a female body, the pressures you'll have put on you are so harsh. Just like if you're a masculine energy in a male body, the energies you'll have put on you are so fucking harsh. And when it comes to feminines and female bodies, sometimes there's more peer pressure of a female acting a certain way from other females. Especially depending on the culture, the environment, the location, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother. I mean, there's so much. So the feminines are now dealing and clearing out a whole new level of hurt. And it feels very connected from all of these limitations of them wanting to be more free and be more creative. But they've always thought that they couldn't do certain things because of who they are, whose family name they're attached to, how they want to be seen, because they know that if they do certain things, they will automatically be seen in a certain way. Hurting makes me human and will guide me in the future. I will learn from this. Hurting makes me human and will guide me in the future. I will learn from this. Hurting makes me human and will guide me in the future. I will learn from this. But to go coincide with connecting with nature, connecting with themselves, being creative, and knowing that all of their dreams are coming true, and really they are already true and they are already here, because time is an illusion, so everything you want you already have. The feminines are getting to that space of being hopeful. And it's a whole new level of hope. Because as I said in the last reading, some of the feminines are going through the motions of teeter-tottering back and forth of, oh, okay, I can continue doing this, but then, almost being too attached to the outcome. And they're realizing that if they just put in the work, use law of attraction, visualization, whatever it is they need to do, a vision board, whatever it is, if they really match that vibration and put that energy out there, emit that energy of knowing it already has happened, knowing they already have this, and let it go and just surrender it to the universe, they know that they can then, again, be more hopeful, be more excited, but not be so attached to the outcome. Because if you're attached to a certain outcome, I mean, we already know how that goes. That's why you're watching this video. Wow, life is crazy sometimes. I'm optimistic about the future. I have faith that all will be well and as it should be. I'm optimistic about the future. I have faith that all will be well and as it should be. One last time. I am optimistic about the future. I have faith that all will be well and as it should be. Ashe. Namaste. Okay, that is actually a really amazing reading. Very transformative. So once again, Divine Feminines, I'm so proud of you. You're beautiful, you're strong, you're worthy of love and affection. And to all the Divine Masculines listening and watching this video, I love you, you're strong, you're beautiful, you're worthy of love and affection. And yeah, I just want to send you guys so much love and light. So I'm going to give you some Reiki right now. So just let that integrate into you. Some of you may be feeling some pulsating on your third eye, a slight headache, or you might feel a bit dizzy. Once the Reiki is integrated, even as it's integrating, I'd say, don't go out straight away and operate heavy machinery. But once again, if you guys want to get any healthy elixirs or tropical fruits, then click the Noah Fruits page. Loads of our proceeds go to our Noah Care charity. We're helping support children and provide sustainable life sources and sustainable living for them, solutions for them, because they deserve all the happiness in the world and they're typically the forgotten souls. And so many charities are not real charities. So Noah Care really is a real charity created by me and my DM here in Bali. And wow, my throat chakra. If any of you guys want to stay at a beautiful healing retreat, once again, the link to that will be in the description. If any of you guys are great at making websites and you'd like to help us create this website for the Noah retreat, and you can get either shares in the company or just get paid, whatever it is, please contact us at nikanini@gmail.com, or you can once again just email me on my SoulStar email if you guys want any private readings, consultations, etc., Reiki, crystal healing, future readings, whatever it is. PayPal links in the description. And me and my DM have been working on building a whole spiritual healing store where we're going to be selling different types of crystals that we're sourcing, especially orgonite, as well as essential oils, sprays, different things that you can use in your rituals and spells and manifestation techniques so that you can actually help to bring in that energy. So we're going to bring, we're working on different elixirs and sprays right now of different essential oils blessed with different Reiki intentions, that if you use it to manifest money or use it to attract love or to be more open or to heal, you can use it in your ritual, whether it's the candle, the spray. I'm also doing chakra reefs, so many different amazing, once again, creative things. So I hope you guys are filled with love and light from this reading and insight and more clarity to you Divine Masculines listening and watching, and of course you beautiful feminines. And once again, Divine Masculines, you are beautiful as well. I hope you guys are good, and the links to my Divine Masculines channel, aka Soul Authentic, will be in the link in the description. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share, and please comment down below if you guys would like me to open up a Facebook page. I've been contemplating it for a while, and I think if I open up a Facebook page, I can connect with more souls, and also I can do some live streams on there where I just ask, Spirit to reveal the answers for you in those streams. So please let me know if you'd like me to do that as well. So love to you so much from here in Bali in Indonesia. Say goodbye from my DM.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. Do you want to say bye?
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay, he's coming over. Bye. That's definitely your inner child. Okay, I'm absolutely starving, so we're gonna go and eat something now. So we love you guys so much. Take care. Suk semua. Terima kasih. Ashe. Namaste. I love you all. Stay shining bright like the star you are. Bye.